Marvel is giving it another shot. A new Avengers adventure. As epic as Endgame, and hopefully better than most of the movies and shows that came after. How are they planning to pull this off? Well, with a wild mix of old strengths and fresh ideas. We will reveal the first leaks about Doomsday, share all the info on the cast, and talk about the highly anticipated trailer. So sit back and enjoy. Here comes our big Marvel update. Piece by piece, the puzzle of what Doomsday will be about is coming together. With every interview, statement, and insider leak, we get an increasingly clear picture. After the latest events in the Marvel movies and series, one thing is certain. The multiverse has never been this unstable. Realities are colliding, timelines are unraveling, and alternate dimensions are beginning to merge. At this moment, a true Marvel icon enters the scene, Dr. Doom. He sees the chaos not as a threat, but as an opportunity. In the comics, Doom creates the so-called Battle World, an artificially assembled world made from shattered realities. Each region of this world reflects fragments of other universes, a patchwork of the future, the past, timelines, and dystopian landscapes. And Dr. Doom? He rules over this world like a god. Battle World also presents the Avengers with great challenges. Here, fractured variants of familiar heroes come face to face, allies become enemies, and former foes forge unexpected alliances. It is a moral chaos, where it is hard to tell what is right and what is wrong. Imagine Captain America Civil War, but set in a completely bonkers scenario. If there is one thing we have learned from Thanos, it's this. The best villains are the ones whose motives we can understand. According to early reports, Marvel is taking the same approach with Dr. Doom. In many interpretations, he is a brilliant scientist, a gifted magician, and a traumatized ruler. Doom believes the world needs him as a strict leader. We are probably not in for a one-dimensional villain here, but rather a broken character, someone whose goal isn't destruction, but a new order for the multiverse. We already got a first glimpse of Dr. Doom at the end of the Fantastic Four First Steps, though only from behind. In the clip, Doom clearly shows interest in Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm. Franklin possesses abilities that can manipulate reality, just what Dr. Doom was waiting for to further his plans. According to insiders, his full look will be revealed in the first trailer for Doomsday, which is expected to drop in time for the theatrical release of Avatar 3, a full year before the new Avengers movie hits theaters. Leaks suggest that his appearance will match the character. His body is covered in scars, and he relies on his suit to survive, strongly reminiscent of characters like Darth Vader. And he too had his own ideas about how to bring peace to the galaxy. One of the biggest sensations was undoubtedly the casting of Robert Downey Jr. as the supervillain. The actor has explained in multiple interviews that he would only return if the role offered something completely new. Doom is a complex, broken, and deeply contradictory character, which certainly sounds promising. The big question, of course, is why is the actor who played Tony Stark now portraying Dr. Doom? That will surely not be ignored in the story. Imagine the disappointment if Robert Downey Jr. simply disguised his voice and never took off the mask. In that case, the casting would have been nothing more than a marketing stunt, and Marvel is unlikely to risk that kind of backlash. So why does Dr. Doom look like Iron Man? One of the strongest theories, the villain might actually be a variant of Tony Stark who has taken the path of a villain. Sounds unlikely? Both are geniuses, masters of technology, and both are traumatized. In the major conflict of Captain America Civil War, Tony Stark advocated for more control. In the comics, there are even storylines where Doom becomes Stark's self-proclaimed successor and fights for good as the infamous Iron Man. In other stories, the two even work together across time travel adventures or swap bodies. It sounds pretty crazy, but as you can see, the connection between the two characters is anything but new. According to insider Daniel Richtman, the Avengers will even be up against multiple variants of Dr. Doom. There is talk of several male variants, as well as at least 2 female ones. Many fans speculate that these could be the so-called Doombots. These are deceptively real-looking robots that Doom often uses as stand-ins in the comics. This naturally offers plenty of potential for an exciting play on identities, reality, and deception. In March, a handful of concept art images for the 2 Avengers movies circulated online. Marvel denied their authenticity, but to this day continues to issue takedown notices to anyone who shares them. At the same time, much of what could be seen in the images aligns with later insider information about the production. For example, medieval sets and various variants of the Hulk, including his son Scar. There are also signs of a young Avengers team. In the meantime, reports have surfaced that Disney is planning a series called Champions, which will focus on the young Avengers. According to the drawings, a new Black Panther is also an option, allegedly T'Challa's son. You ask, how many characters can fit into one movie? And Marvel replies, yes. Endgame already pushed the limits of what's possible, and Doomsday could top that. Chris Hemsworth is probably returning in a more serious manner than we saw in Love and Thunder. Anthony Mackie leads the Avengers in his role as the new Captain America. Paul Rudd is back as Ant-Man, and Simu Liu reprises his role as Shang-Chi. Wakanda and Atlantis are also strongly represented. Letitia Wright, Winston Duke, and Namor actor Tenoch Huerta Mejia will all appear. Following their debut, the Thunderbolts will also get involved, including Sentry, one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. A particular highlight will be the Fantastic Four. After their battle against Galactus, they now face their next major challenge. The most spectacular comeback likely concerns the X-Men. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are returning to their iconic roles, with Kelsey Grammer, Rebecca Romijn, Alan Cumming, and James Marsden. Several actors from the old movies are joining the MCU. Channing Tatum will also reprise his role as Gambit following Deadpool and Wolverine. This will most likely be the final battle for the classic X-Men. After Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, Marvel is planning the so-called Mutant Saga, featuring a new cast. What stands out is that many actors from the later X-Men films are absent. It's possible they won't be involved until after Doomsday. But other big names are also missing. No Tom Holland, no Benedict Cumberbatch, no Mark Ruffalo. The Guardians of the Galaxy are absent as well. At least for some of them, insider Jeff Snyder has an explanation. Spider-Man 4 is said to take place during the events of Doomsday. Characters like Peter Parker and the Hulk would therefore be busy in New York. Elizabeth Olsen also recently stated that Wanda Maximoff will not be in the new Avengers film. Whether such statements can be trusted is another matter. It would not be the first time Marvel actors have simply lied about this topic. Amid all the speculation, we must not forget, Marvel has never claimed that the famous chair video revealed the full cast. On the contrary, public statements have already hinted that more is still to come. So it is quite possible that a second video will be released soon, featuring a host of additional names we have been missing until now. For many fans, this is probably a good sign. Joe and Anthony Russo are returning as directors, the same brothers who brought us Infinity War, Endgame, The Winter Soldier, and Civil War. The screenplay is once again by Stephen McFeely, as with almost all Russo projects. However, their subsequent movies received mixed reviews. We hope they once again showcase their greatest strengths in the MCU. Avengers Doomsday will be released in theaters on December 18th, 2026. Avengers Secret Wars follows on December 17th, 2027. Both movies are being produced back-to-back, similar to Infinity War and Endgame. We can therefore expect a continuous story, likely with a huge cliffhanger halfway through. Our guess, by the end of Doomsday, the known reality will be destroyed and Battleworld will be created. This would turn everything upside down and set up huge suspense for what awaits us a year later in Secret Wars. What do you think? Can Marvel pull it off and deliver a spectacle like they used to? And what's your theory on why Dr. Doom was cast with Robert Downey Jr.? We would love to hear your thoughts.